And now, Medina County Showbiz Company is proud to present Neil Simon's Brighton Beach Memoirs.
One out. A man on second, bottom of the seventh. 2 balls, no strikes. Roughing checks the runner on second. He gets a sign from Dickie. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. Caught. Inside the room. Strike 1. Out, baby. No hitter up there. 1 out. A man on second, bottom of the seventh. 2 balls, 1 strike. Roughing checks the man on second. He gets a sign from Dickie. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. I'm outside. Ball 3. Come on, Red. Make it a hitter. No batter up there. In there all the time, Red.
Hey, please, my head is splitting. I've told that boy 109 times. Eugene, stop banging the wall!
In a minute, Ma. This is for the World Series. 1 out. A man on second. Bottom of the seventh. 3 balls, 1 strike. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. Oh no, loading outside. Jojo more walks. First and second. And Mel out lopes up to the plate.
Can he do that someplace else? I'll break his arm. That's what he'll do it. Eugene, I'm not going to tell you again. Do you hear me?
It's the last batter, Mom. Mel Ott is up. It's a crucial moment in World Series history.
Your Aunt Blanche has a splitting headache.
I don't want him to stop playing. It's just the bang.
He always does a 138. I have a big test in history tomorrow.
1 more pitch, Mom. I think I can get him to pop up. I have my stuff today.
Your father will give you plenty of stuff when he gets home.
All right, all right.
I want you in here now. Put out the water glasses.
I can do that.
Why, is his arms broken? And I don't want to hear any back talk. You hear?
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Today's game will be delayed due to my Aunt Blanche's headache.
Enough with the sewing already, Blanche. Last thing I need is for you to go blind.
I just have this one edge to finish. Lori, darling, help Annie Kate with the dishes.
2 more pages, all right, Ma? I have to finish Macedonian Wars.
Always studying that one. She's going to have some head on her shoulders. Eugene!
I'm coming.
And wash your hands.
They're clean. I'm wearing a glove. I hate my name. Eugene Morris Jerome. It's the second worst name ever given to a male child. The first is Haskell Fleischman. How am I ever going to become a Yankee with a name like Eugene Morris Jerome? You have to be a Joe or a Tony or a Frankie. Only if I was born Italian. All of us Yankees are Italian. My mother makes spaghetti with ketchup. What chance do I have?
I'm almost through, Ma.
All right, darling. Don't get up too quickly.
You look better tonight, sweetheart. Did you get some sun?
I walked down to the beach.
Very slowly, I hope.
Yes, Ma.
That's good.
She gets all this special treatment because the doctor says she has some sort of flutter in her heart. I got hit in the back of the skull with a baseball, so I tube everything for a week, and I still had to carry a block ice home every afternoon. Girls are treated like queens. Maybe that's what I should have been born. An Italian girl.
Eugene!
What?
How many times have I told you not to leave your things lying around the house?
109.
What?
You told me yesterday. I told you 109 times not to leave things lying around the house.
Don't be fresh to your mother, Jean.
Was I fresh? I swear to God that's what she said to me yesterday. One day I'm going to write this all in a book or a play. I'm going to be a writer like Ring Lardner or somebody. That's if things don't work out with the Yankees, or the Cubs, or the Red Sox, or possibly the Tigers. If I get down to the St. Louis Browns, I'll definitely be a writer.
Mom, can I have a glass of lemonade?
It'll spoil your dinner, darling.
A small glass, it couldn't hurt her.
All right. In a minute, Angel.
I'll get it. I'm going in the kitchen anyway.
Can you believe that? She better have a bad heart. I'm going to kill her one day. Listen, I hope you don't repeat this to anybody. What I'm about to tell you are my secret memoirs. It's called The Unbelievable, Fantastic, and Completely Private Thoughts of I, Eugene Morris Jerome. In this, the 15th year of his life, and the year 1937, and the community of Brighton Beach, boroughs of Brooklyn, Kingstown, City of New York, Empire State of the American nation.
A roller skate on my kitchen floor. Do you want me dead? Is that what you want?
I didn't leave it there.
No? Who? Then Lori, the ambulance, went have you ever seen them on skates? Take this upstairs. Come
Don't
here.
hit my skull, I have a concussion.
What would you tell your father if he came home and I was lying dead on the kitchen floor?
I'd say, don't go in the kitchen, Pop.
Get upstairs. And don't come down with dirty hands.
See why I write all this down? In case I grow up all twisted and warped. The world will not lie.
He's a boy, he's young, he should be glad he's healthy and active. Before the doctors found out what Lori had, she was the same way.
Never. Girls are different. When you and I were girls, we kept that house spotless. It was Ben and Ezra who drove Mama crazy. I've always been like that. I like things clean, just like Mama. When they packed up and left for Russia, she cleaned that place from top to bottom. She said no matter what the Cossacks did to us, when they broke into her house, they had respect for the Jews.
Who are the Cossacks?
Same filthy bunch lives across the street.
Across the street? You mean the Murphys?
All of them.
The Murphys are Russian.
The mother is nice, she's been very sweet to me.
Her windows are so filthy. I thought she had black curtains hanging in there.
I was in their house, it was very neat. Nobody could be as clean as you.
What business did you have in their house?
She invited me for tea?
To introduce you to that drunken son of hers.
No, just the two of us.
I've lived in here 7 years. I've never been invited to tea. She knows about your situation. I know that kind. Remember what Mama used to tell us? Stay on your side of the streets. That's what they have gutters for.
That's what they have gutters for. If my mother knew I was writing all this down, she'd stuff me like one of her chickens. I better explain to you what she meant by Aunt Blanche's situation. You see, her husband, Uncle Dave, died 6 years ago from, well, they never say the word, they always whisper it. Cancer. I think they're afraid that if they said it out loud, God would say, I heard that you said the dread disease. Just for that, I smite you down with it. There are some things that adults just won't discuss. For example, my grandfather, he died from diphtheria. Anyways, when Uncle Dave died, he left Aunt Blanche with no money, not even insurance. And she couldn't support herself because she has asthma. So my big-hearted mother insisted we take her and her 2 kids in to live with us. So they split up my room into 2 small rooms, and me and my brother Stanley live on this side, and my cousin Lori and her sister Nora live on the other side. They thought it would just be temporary, but it's been 3.5 years so far. And I think because of Aunt Blanche's situation, Pop's developing high blood pressure.
Have some lemonade here.
Thank you, Aunt Kate.
Drink it slowly.
I am.
Blanche, enough with the sewing. You've been at it since 7 o'clock this morning.
I was just stopping.
You sew your fingers together.
It's getting dark anyway. I think I need the glasses.
Our teacher said it to change them every 2 years.
Would it kill you to put a light on?
I don't need to run up electric bills. I owe you and Jack enough as it is.
Have I asked you for anything? Do you see anybody around here starving? If I go hungry, you'll give me something from your plate.
Kate, I'm gonna pay you and Jack back someday. I don't know when, but I keep my word.
From your lips to the Irish sweepstakes. Go on in and taste the soup. See if it needs any salt.
Should I put out the water glasses, or is Eugene gonna do it?
Eugene! This is the last time I'm going to tell you. Just put out the napkins, darling.
Because of her condition, I have to do twice the amount of work around here. Or if I could just make the Yankees, I'd be in St. Petersburg this winter. Her sister Nora isn't too bad. She's 16. At least she's not too bad to look at. To be absolutely honest, this is the year I've started noticing girls that weren't too bad to look at. Nora started developing about 8 months ago. I have the exact date in my diary.
Mom! Lori! Aunt Kate! I have incredible news, everybody!
Hi, Nora.
Eugene, my sweet, adorable, handsome cousin. Oh, wait till I tell you what's happened to me. I'm fainted. I'm absolutely fainted.
I felt her chest. When she grabbed me, I felt my first chest.
I can't believe this whole day.
What happened?
Where's Mom? Aunt Kate, I have to tell everyone.
What's all the
it goes. I'm going to be in a Broadway show. It's a musical called Abracadabra. This man, Mr. Beckman, he's a producer, came into our dancing class this afternoon, picked out 3 girls. We have to be at the Hudson Theater Monday morning to audition for the dance director, but on the way out, he took me aside, said the job was good as mine. They start rehearsing a week from Monday, and then it goes to Philadelphia, Wilmington, Washington, then it comes to New York the 2nd week in December. There are 9 big musical numbers, and there's going to be a big tank on the stage that you can see through. And the big finale all takes place with the entire cast all underwater. I mean, can you believe it? We're going to be in a Broadway show, Mama.
What is she talking about?
Do I know? Am I her mother? How can you be in a show? Don't you have to sing and act?
I can sing.
No, you can't.
A little.
No, you can't.
Well, I can carry a tune.
No, you can't.
Well, I probably won't have a tune. They're just looking for dancers.
On Broadway, you have to sing and act.
How would you know? You never saw a Broadway show.
Did you tell him how old you were?
He didn't ask me.
He didn't ask you if you were 16?
He just asked me to audition. My God, isn't anybody excited?
I am. It's the most fantastic thing I've ever heard.
Thanks, Eugene. I'm glad somebody is excited.
My God, I'll be sleeping right next door to a showgirl.
What about school? School? Mama, this is a Broadway show. This is what I want to do with my life. Algebra and English isn't going to help me on the stage. Art, you stay out of this.
You mean not finish school? Not get a diploma? Do you know how hard it is for a girl to get a good job without a high school diploma?
But I got a job. And I'll be making more than 10 girls with diplomas.
You haven't got it yet. You still have to audition.
It's as good as mine, Mr. Beckman told me.
And what if you, God forbid, broke a leg? Or got heavy? How long do you think he'll keep you? Dancing is just for a few years. A diploma is forever. I should know. I never had one. I know how hard it is to get a decent job. Your Aunt Kate knows. Tell her, Kate.
It's very hard.
Then why did you send me to dancing school for 3 years? Why do I spend 2 hours a day on a subway, 4 days a week after school, with money you make going half blind over a broken sewing machine? Why, Mama?
Because it's my pleasure. Because I know how you love it. Because you asked me.
And I'm asking something else, Mama. Let me do something for you now. I could be making almost $60 a week. In 2 years, when I get out of high school, I wouldn't make that much with a college diploma.
I can't think now. It's almost dinner time. Your Uncle Jack will be home soon. We'll discuss it later.
I have to know now, Mama. I have to call Mr. Beckman and let him know if I can go to the audition Monday. At least let me audition. Let me find out first if they think I'm good enough. Please, don't say no until Monday.
It was a tense moment. I love tense moments, especially when I'm not the one they're all tense about.
God knows we could use the money. We all owe Aunt Kate and Uncle Jack enough as it is. I think they should have as much say in it as I do. How do you feel about it, Kate?
Me? I never voted before in my life. Why should I start with my own family? I gotta heat up the potatoes.
Then we'll leave it up to your Uncle Jack. We'll let him make the decision.
Why, Mama? I love him, but he's not my father.
Because I need help. Because I don't always know what the right thing to do is. Because I say so. That's why.
Eugene Morris Jerome of New York has one vote for yes. What I'm about to tell you now is so secret and private that I've left specific instructions for my memoirs not to be opened until 30 years after cousin Nora. I can tell you all this now because I'll be dead by the time you're reading it. If I had a choice between a trial with the Yankees or actually seeing her bare breasts for 2.5 seconds, I'd have some serious thinking to do.
I need bread.
What?
I don't have enough bread. Run across the street to Greenwest and give me a fresh rye bread.
I went to the store this morning.
So you'll go again this afternoon.
You always sending me to the store. When I grow up, that's all I'm going to be trained to do, is go to the store.
You don't want to go? Never mind. I'll go.
No, don't do that. Don't make me feel guilty. I'll go.
And get me a quarter pound of butter.
I got a quarter pound of butter this morning. Why don't you buy a half pound at a time?
And suppose the house burned down this afternoon. Why do I need an extra quarter pound of butter?
If my mother taught logic in high school, this would be some weird country.
So, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Leave me alone. Don't you sit there watching me.
It's my room as much as it's yours. I don't have to leave if I don't want to.
Well, do you have to stare at me? Can't I have a little privacy?
I'm staring into space. I can't help it if your body interferes. I bet you're worried.
How would you feel if your entire life depended on what your Uncle Jack decided? God, I wish Daddy were alive.
He would have said no. He was really strict.
Not with me. I mean, he was strict, but he was fair. If he said no, he always had a good reason. He always talked things out. I wish I could call him someone now and ask him what to do. 1 3-minute call to heaven is all I ask.
Ask Mom. She talks to him every night.
Who told you that?
She did. Every night before she goes to bed. She puts his picture on her pillow and talks to him. She pulls a blanket half of the picture and then goes to sleep.
She does not.
She does too. Last year when I had the big fever, I went to bed with the both of them. In the middle of the night, my face fell out of his picture and cut my nose.
She never told me that. That's weird.
I can't remember him much anymore. I used to remember him real good, but now it disappears a little bit every day.
God, he was so handsome. He always dressed so dapper, his shoes always shined. I always thought he should have been a movie star like Gary Cooper. But mostly I remember his pockets.
His pockets?
When I was 6 or 7, he always brought me home a little surprise like a Hershey or a top. He'd tell me to go get it in his coat pocket, so I'd run to the closet and I'd put my hand in. Oh, it felt as big as a tent. I wanted to crawl in there and go to sleep. Oh, and there are all these terrific things in there too, like juicy fruit gum or spearmint lifesavers, and crumbled up bits of cellophane and pieces of tobacco and movie stubs and paper clips and rubber bands and nickels and pennies. And his gray suede gloves he wore in the wintertime.
With the such lines on the fingers, I remember.
Then I found his coat in Mom's closet. And I put my hand in the pocket. And everything was gone. It was emptied and dry cleaned. And it felt cold. That's when I knew he was really dead. Oh, God. I wish we had our own place to live. I hate being a boarder. Listen, let's make a pact. The first one who makes enough money promises not to spend any on herself, but saves it all for a house for you and me and Mom. That means every penny we get from now on goes toward the house. We can't buy anything. No lipstick, magazines, nail polish, bubblegum, nothing. Is it a pact?
What about movies?
Movies too.
Starting when?
Starting today. Starting right now.
Can we start Sunday? I want to see The Thin Man.
Who's in it?
William Powell and Myrna Loy.
He's starting Sunday. I'll go with you Saturday.
Sid Luckman of Columbia waits for the snap from center. The snow's coming down in a near blizzard. He gets it. He fades back. He passes it. And Luckman's got it. He catches his own pass. He's on the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. It's a touchdown. Columbia you doing home so early?
Is Pop home yet?
No. Did you ask about the tickets?
What tickets?
You said your boss knew a guy who could get us passes to the Yankees game. You didn't ask him?
Me and my boss had other things to talk about. I'm in trouble, Huge. I mean, real big trouble.
This surprised me, because my brother was one of those people who could talk themselves out of any sort of trouble. What kind of trouble?
I got fired today.
Fired? You mean for good?
You don't get fired temporarily, it's permanent. It's a lifetime firing.
What happened?
It was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up. Well, he was cleaning the floor in the stock room, and he lays his broom against the table to put some junk in the trash can, and the broom slips. It knocks a can of linseed oil over the table and ruins 3 brand new hats right out of the box. $9 Stetsons. It wasn't his fault, though. He didn't put the linseed oil there, right?
Right.
So, Mr. Strawheim sees the oily hats and he gets crazy. He says to Andrew that the hats are going to have to come out of his salary, $27. So Andrew starts to cry.
He cried?
42 years old and he's bawling all over the stock room. I mean, the man hasn't got much furniture upstairs anyway, but he's real sweet. He brings me coffee, always laughing, telling me jokes. I never understand him, but I laugh anyway, make him feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I say to Mr. Strawheim, I didn't think that was fair. It wasn't Andrew's fault.
You said that to him?
Sure, why not? So Mr. Strawheim says to me, you want to pay for the hats, big mouth? And I say, no, I don't want to pay for the hats. And he says, then mind your own business, big mouth.
Holy mackerel!
So Mr. Strawheim looks at me like machine gun bullets are coming out of his eyes. And then he calmly sends Andrew over to the factory to grab 3 brand new hats, which is usually my job. So guess what Mr. Strawheim tells me to do?
What?
He tells me to sweep up. He says that for this week, I'm the cleaning man.
I can't believe it.
Everybody's watching me now, waiting to see what I'm going to do. Even Andrew stopped crying and watched. I could feel the dignity of everyone who worked in that store was in my hands. So I grit my teeth. I picked up the broom. And there's this big pile of dirt right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah?
And I sweep it all over Mr. Strawheim's shoes. Andrew had just finished shining them this morning, if you want to talk about iron.
I'm dying. I'm actually dying.
You could see everyone in the place was about to bust a gut. Mrs. Mulcahy, the bookkeeper, could barely keep her false teeth in her mouth. Andrew's eyes were hanging 5 inches out of their sockets.
This is the greatest story in the history of the world.
So Mr. Strawheim grabs me, pulls me into his back office, shuts the door, and pulls down the shades. He gives me this story about how he was brought up in Germany to respect his superiors, and that if he ever did such a thing like you two, they would beat me into a cup until they carried me away dead.
That's perfect. You got it down perfect.
And I say, yeah, but we're not in Germany, old
You
buddy.
said that to him?
No, to myself. I didn't want to go too far.
I was wondering.
Anyway, he says he's always liked me and always thought that I was a good boy and that he was going to give me one more chance. He wants a letter of apology. And that if the letter isn't on his desk by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I can consider myself fired.
I would have a heart attack. What did you say?
I said I was not going to apologize if Andrew still had to pay for the hats. He said that was between him and Andrew, and that he expected the letter from me in the morning. I said goodnight, walked out of his office, got my hat, and went home 10 minutes early.
Sweating. I swear to God, I'm sweating all over.
I don't know why I did it, but I got so mad. It just wasn't fair. I mean, if you give in when you're 18 and a half, you'll give in for the rest of your life, don't you think?
I suppose so. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to write the letter?
No.
Positively.
Positively. Except I'll have to discuss it with Pop. I know we need the money. But Pop told me once you always have to do what you think is right in this world and stand up for your principles.
What if he thinks you're wrong? What if he tells you to write the letter?
He won't. He's going to leave it up to me. I know it.
But what if he says, write the letter?
Well, that's something we won't know until after dinner, will we?
All in all, it's shaping up to be one heck of a dinner. I can say this, though. I've always had this two-way feeling about my brother. Either I hated him so much I wanted to kill him, or I worshipped the ground he walked on. I guess you know how I feel about him today.
All day it takes to bring home bread. Give your Aunt Blanche the butter, she's waiting for it.
I was home a half hour ago, talking to Stanley.
Hey, I got a letter from Rosalind Weiner. Remember her? She moved to Manhattan. They live up on Central Park West.
Why not? Her father's a gangster and her mother's worse. Don't I get a kiss hello?
Nope. I was going to save it up and give you a giant one for Christmas.
You don't have Christmas. I'll take mine now, thank you. Oh, and a hug too. Since when do I get a hug from you? You must have done something wrong.
You're too smart for me, Mom. I robbed the barber shop today.
Is that why you look so tired? You don't get enough sleep, running around all night with your 200 girlfriends.
130, that's all I have, 130.
How do you get any work done?
I get it done.
And your boss doesn't say anything to you about being tired?
About being tired? No, he doesn't.
Did you ask him about Thursday?
What?
You were supposed to ask him about getting paid Thursday. I got paid Greenblatt's on Friday. Saturday's a holiday.
Oh, no, I forgot. I'll ask him tomorrow.
If it's a problem, don't bother. Greenblatt's can wait. Your boss is more important.
Oh, that's not true, Mom. My boss isn't any more important than Mr. Greenblatt.
Oh, God! As if things were bad enough, and now this? The ultimate tragedy. Cabbage and liver for dinner. Jewish medieval torture. My friend, Marty Gregorio, an A student in science, once told me that cooked cabbage could be smelled farther than sound traveling for 7 minutes. My memoirs are never finished. You'll know it's because I gagged to death one night in the middle of supper. You're witnesses. I was sitting right here, right? But I'll get blamed for that anyways.
I'm all right. Just let me sit a minute.
Didn't I tell you to get out of that hot kitchen? I can't breathe in there and I don't have asthma. Nora, Lori, come help your mother.
I'm sick about the plates. I'll replace them. Don't worry about the plates.
Plates I can always get. I only have one sister. What happened?
Oh, I'm all right. Don't run, Lori.
It's another asthma attack. Second one this week. Nora, you better go get the doctor.
Oh, I don't need doctors.
This is no climate for you, Blanche. Near the beach. You need someplace dry.
Like Arizona, Mama. Should I get the doctor?
No, no doctors. It's better. It's going away.
I can still hear the whistle.
You shut up. Nora, go help your Aunt Kate in the kitchen. I broke a good place.
Never mind. Eugene will get it. Nora, go get your mother's medicine. Lori, you sit right still right here. Watch your mother. Oh, you look as pale as a ghost. Eugene, come in here and help me.
Hello, Mrs. Kresge. How are you?
In a minute, Ma, Panto! I'd now like to introduce you to my father, a real hard worker. He was born at the age of 42. Hi, Pop. How you doing, Pop?
How am I doing?
Let me help you with that, Pop.
They're too heavy. You hurt yourself.
I just need a good grip.
I just want to sit a few minutes.
Are you okay, Pop?
I'm resting. That's all. Can you get me a cold glass of water?
Yeah, I'll be out to the other box in a minute. I don't know how he does this. King Kong could have lived these boxes. You know what's in here? Noisemakers and party favors. He sells them every night after he's done with his regular work, which is cutting material for women's raincoats.
Did you do your homework today?
Not all of it. Mom sent me to the store 15 times. Amos and Andy is on tonight.
Do your homework first, and then we'll discuss Amos and Andy.
Here's your medicine, Mom. Lori, get some water.
Lori shouldn't be running.
I'll get it, Nora.
You sure you don't mind?
No, I don't mind. 2.5 seconds, that's all I ask.
Mom, when are you going to talk to Uncle Jack?
When I talk to him, that's when I'll talk to him.
Tonight? I have to know tonight.
I'll see. If he's not too tired, I'll talk to him tonight.
Jack's home. We'll eat in 10 minutes. Nora, darling, go on up and get Stanley. How's your mother, Lori?
Much better. The whistling stopped.
What's wrong? Eugene said you were holding your chest.
I wasn't holding my chest.
You have to carry those boxes every day, back and forth to the city. You don't work hard enough, Jack?
If you want the box, keep it. It's yours. I don't need it anymore.
What do you mean?
Belmar's party favors went out of business. They closed him out. The man is bankrupt.
Oh my God!
You never even warned me it was coming.
You told me he lived up on Riverside Drive with a view of the river. A $300 a month apartment he had. A man like that?
Who are the ones that you think go bankrupt? You live in a cold water flat in Delancey Street. Bankruptcy is the one thing God spares you.
All right. You can always find the good in something. You don't have to love those boxes anymore. You don't have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And we can all eat dinner at a decent hour. You still have your job at Jacobson's. We won't starve.
I can't make ends meet with what I make at Jacobson's, not with 7 people to feed.
They'll hear you. We'll talk about this later.
I can't get by without that extra $25 a week. Not with rent and insurance and food and clothing for 7 people. Christmas and New Year's alone, I make $150.
Stop it, Jack. You'll only make yourself sick.
He never even paid me for the week, the bastard. 5 salesmen laid off, and he's at a Broadway show. I stuffed every hat and noisemaker I could in that box, and I walked out of there. At his funeral, I'll put on a pointy hat and I'll blow a horn, the bastard.
Don't talk like that. Something will come up. You'll go to temple this weekend. You'll pray all day Saturday.
There are men in that temple who have been praying for 40 years. Do you know how many prayers have to be answered before my turn comes up?
Your turn will come up. God has time for everybody.
Here's your water, Red Blanche.
Thank you, darling.
Where's Nora?
She went up to call Stanley for dinner.
You want to take a walk on the beach with me tonight?
I have homework. What do you want with me for?
You, me, and Nora. I just felt like taking a walk.
I think Nora has a date with Larry Clorman.
Larry Clerman? She likes Larry Clerman?
I don't know after yourself.
Larry Clerman's my father's age.
He's funny.
Same thing. Think he's good looking?
I don't think anybody's good looking.
Larry Clerman. He doesn't even have a chin. His tie comes all the way up to his teeth.
Eugene, where's your father's water?
I'm coming. Now I've got Larry Clerman to contend with. Here's your water, Pop. I put ice in it.
Well, don't drink it so fast.
Do you have time to look at my sneakers, Pop?
What does he want to look at your sneakers for?
They have no sole. It's hanging on by a tiny piece of rubber. I have to clench my toes when I run out for a fly ball.
I bought you new sneakers last month.
Not last month, last year, Pop. I can only wear them for 2 hours a day because my toes can't grow in them.
This is no time to talk to your father about sneakers. He's got enough on his mind. Go in and turn down the light on the liver. We'll talk about this later. You'll relax, you'll have a nice supper, and when everyone's asleep, we'll discuss this calmly. I don't like to see you get so upset.
I'm feeling better. Come, dear. Help me with dinner.
Do you think she'll ever get married?
Blanche?
She's not unattractive. I see men look at her at the beach. What is she wasting her life in this house for?
She's raising 2 children.
Why doesn't she ever go out? If she wants to meet people, I know plenty of single men.
Blanche isn't the type to get married.
She was married once, wasn't she? Those are the type that get married.
David is different. She's not interested in other men.
What about that Murphy fellow across the street? He's plenty interested, believe me.
That drunk? That man can't even find his way into his own house. He slept in the doorway once, in the rain. I saw him when I went out to get the milk.
He has a good paying job and lives with his mother, so he takes a drink on a Saturday night. Maybe what he needs is a good woman.
Not my sister. Let him meet someone lying in the next doorway. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Come in.
Are you busy? I wanted to talk to you.
Well, that's funny, because I wanted to talk to you.
About what?
I need a favor, real bad. You're the only one who can help me.
What is it?
Well, when Pop comes home tired, he usually doesn't pay too much attention to me or Eugene, but he's different with you. He's always interested in what you have to say.
Really? I hope so.
Well, sure, you never noticed that?
Not really. What's the favor?
Okay, this may sound dumb, but at dinner, do you think you could steer the conversation in a certain direction?
What direction?
Well, something like, how much you admire people who stand up for their principles.
What people?
Any people. Principles is the important word. If you could work it in 3 or 4 times, I'd be very grateful.
3 or 4 times?
It'll be easy. I'll mention someone like Abraham Lincoln, and then you look up and say, now there's a man who really stood up for his principles.
I have my own things to bring up at dinner. I do not want to get into a discussion on Abraham Lincoln.
Not his whole life, just his principles.
Why would I do such a stupid thing?
Because as of tomorrow, I'm unemployed. Unless someone besides me mentions sticking up for your principles.
What happened? Did you get fired?
I will be unless I write Kaiser Wilhelm a letter of apology. It's really up to my old man. I've decided to do whatever he tells me.
When are you going to ask him?
Tonight, right after dinner?
Tonight? Does it have to be tonight?
That's the deadline. I have to give my answer to Mr. Strawheim in the morning. Why?
Couldn't you ask your father in the morning?
He gets up at 5:30. My mother has to line up his shoes at night because he can't make decisions at 5:30. What's wrong, Nora?
I don't know what you have to complain about. At least your father's alive and around the house to make decisions. You don't know when you're well off, Stanley. Sometimes you make me sick.
Chapter 7. The infamous dinner. It started out like a murder mystery in Blenheim's castle. Everyone looked suspicious, but nobody said a word. It was so quiet you could hear Laura's soup going down her esophagus. Everyone had one eye on their plate and another on a pot, except me. I sat opposite Nora. I kept dropping my napkin so I could bend over and get a good look at those creamy virginal white legs. She was really deep in thought, but she left herself unguarded a few times, and I got to see halfway up her thigh that led to the golden palace of the Himalayas.
Eugene, put your napkin back in your lap and stop daydreaming.
Stanley knew what I was doing because he was the one who taught it to me, but he was busy with his own problems like everyone else. You could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. The tension in the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife, which is more than I can say for the liver.
Ketchup, mustard, pickles.
I'm through. A whole bunch of dessert.
You sit there and you finish that liver.
Do you see the liver on my plate?
You hid it under your mashed potatoes. I know you're tricks. Look how Lori finished hers.
I had a major problem. One more bite and I would have thrown up all over the table. That's a sight Nora would have remembered forever. A diversion was the only escape from humiliation. So, how are things going down at Shoreline, Haley? I felt really bad about that, but for the moment, attention had shifted away from my liver.
How long have you been working there?
Where?
Strawheim's.
At Strawheim's? Let's see. Part-time a year and a half before I graduated high school, and a year since then.
So what's that?
2.5 years, counting part-time.
And he likes you?
Who?
Mr. Strawheim.
Yeah, usually he likes me. Sometimes I'm not so sure.
You come in on time?
Yeah,
You do your work?
yeah,
You get along with the other people?
yeah.
So why shouldn't he like you? How much you making there now?
$17 a week.
It's time you moved up. Tomorrow morning, I want you to go in and ask for a raise.
Oh, a raise?
If you don't speak up for yourself, people take advantage of you. Tomorrow morning, you go into his office. You're polite. You're respectful, but you're third. You tell him you think you're worth another $5 a week.
$5?
He'll offer $1.25. They're settled for $2.50. I know how these things work. You're a high school graduate. He's lucky he's got you.
I don't think this is the best time to be asking him for a raise, Pop. I think his wife is very sick.
You afraid to ask him? Do you want me to take you by the hand and walk into his office and go, my little boy wants a raise?
I'm not afraid.
Your father wouldn't tell you to do this if he didn't think it was the right thing. And believe me, Stanley, now is the time to act.
Oh, Mom, I think I have a bone in my throat.
There are no bones in liver.
So, what's new fancy school, Laura? Nothing is new. Mind your own business.
I'm just trying to introduce a subject.
I don't need your help. Will you tell her to be quiet, Mother?
Lori, you may be excused if you're finished.
What happened to dancing school?
Nora got a nice compliment from a dancing teacher. She says Nora has professional potential.
He didn't say potential. Potential is the future. Mr. Beckman is intended in Nora's immediate present.
Isn't that something? Mr. Beckman is your teacher.
No, he's one of the most widely known and respected producers on Broadway.
Broadway. Imagine that. That's wonderful. And how are you doing in school otherwise?
I'm doing fine.
She's doing very well.
I wish I was as wide as she is.
Isn't that the same Mr. Beckman is producing the great Broadway show Extravaganza, Abracadabra? I hear if a girl gets hired for the chorus, not only is her career practically guaranteed, but the experience she gains is equal to a 4-year college education.
Eugene, that's enough.
Only a 4-year college education is equal to a 4-year college education.
I don't think Abraham Lincoln went to college.
What about you, Lori? Are you feeling all right?
Yes, Uncle Jack.
Are you getting plenty of fresh air?
As much as I can hold my lungs. Nora, did you help Uncle Jack make this big tank that's filled with water?
Girls, why don't we just let Uncle Jack finish his dinner? If we have something to discuss, we can discuss it later.
Someone has something to discuss? If there's a problem, this is the time to discuss it. This is the family hour.
What a great idea for a radio show. Every Wednesday night you get to hear a different family eating dinner, discussing the problems of the week, and different recipes. WEAF presents Dinner at Brighton Beach, starring the Jacob Jerome family, featuring tonight's specialty, liver and cabbage. Brought to you by X-Lax, the model accident.
The whole country's gonna tune in to hear a 15-year-old boy choking on liver.
Nothing to discuss? No one has any problem? Otherwise, I want to turn on the news.
Well, as a matter of fact, nothing.
Oh, for dessert.
You sit down there and you finish that liver.
I can't chew it, it won't go down. Remember the lava being catastrophe last month? Does anybody want to repeat that disgusting episode?
Why does he always talk like it's a Sherlock Holmes story?
He thinks he's a writer.
What do you think you want?
Eat half of it.
Which half? They're both terrible.
Order 2 bites.
One bite.
2 bites.
I know you. I'll eat one bite. You'll make me eat another bite. I'll take it up to my room. I need time to chew it.
Eugene, this is not the time to waste food. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have taken it.
I didn't take it. They gave it to me. It comes attached to my plate.
If it's so important to everybody, I'll eat your liver, Eugene.
You will?
Seems to be the only thing this family is worried about. Give me your liver so we can get on with more important things in our lives.
Nora's right. Take the liver away. If no one likes it, why do you make it?
Because we can't afford roast beef for 7 people.
I suddenly felt vulgar and cheap.
Stanley, turn on the news.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Pop? It's something really important.
More important than what's going on in Europe?
It's not more important, it's just happening sooner.
Hitler's already moved into Austria. In a couple of months, the whole world will be in it. What's the matter with this radio?
Someone's been messing with it, haven't they, Eugene?
Why, Eugene? Pop had the news on last night.
You weren't listening to the baseball game this afternoon?
He's talking about Poland. Damn it! I don't want anyone touching this radio anymore. You understand?
Guess who's gonna get blamed for the war in Europe?
Eugene, bring in the forks and knives.
You really think there's gonna be war, Pop? I mean, America too?
We're already in it. Well, not us maybe, but friends, relatives. If you're Jewish, you got a cousin suffering somewhere in the world.
Ida Kaczynski's family got out of Poland last month. The stories she tells about what's going on there, you don't even want to hear.
Well, how many relatives do we have in Europe?
Enough. Uncles, cousins, I have a great aunt. Your father has nephews.
I have a cousin, Shola, in Poland. His whole family.
Dave had relatives in Warsaw. That's where his mother was born.
What if they got to America? Where would they live?
Who?
Your nephews, Mom's cousins and uncles. Would we take them in?
What God gives us to deal with, we deal with.
Where would we put them?
What are you worried about a thing like that now for? You should be upstairs practicing your speech.
What speech?
When you ask Mr. Stroheim for a raise tomorrow.
Can Can I come down and talk to you later, Pop? After you've rested and read your paper?
Lou Gehrig's got 2 hits today. Laura Blue is hitting 302.
How many times do I have to tell you, you don't read that paper until your father's finished with it?
I didn't break it. The print doesn't come off if I take a quick look at it.
Don't be fresh to your mother. Upstairs.
Pop,
Everybody,
I'll come down later, okay, Pop?
Come on, Stanley. I need to talk to you anyways.
You're a pest! Did anyone ever tell you you're a pest?
Yeah, there's a list upstairs. You want to add your name to it?
Why don't you go upstairs and find out this and that baby that's going to cheer you up?
what would we do, Kate? Where would we put them if they got off the boat right now and knocked on our door? How would we feed them?
The boat hasn't arrived yet. I can't do anything about boats that haven't landed yet.
Uncle Jack, I know you're tired and you have a lot on your mind, but the rest of my life may depend on your decision, and I have to know now because I have to call Mr. Beckman and let him know if I can go to the audition or not.
Who's Mr. Beckman?
Broadway producer we talked about at dinner.
Abracadabra, remember?
Lori, upstairs, this minute. Nora, not now. This isn't the time.
But it's never the time. You will make a decision and I have no one else that I can talk to. Well, I'll make my own decision if no one else is interested. I am 16 and a half years old and I'll do what I want to do!
What is this all about?
Go on, Jack, talk.
I'll take care of it. Nora's right. It's my decision.
What are you going to tell her? You going to tell her she can leave school, that she can throw her future away? Is that what you want her to do?
What if I'm wrong? What if she's got talent? What is it I'm supposed to say?
She can't talk to me? It's all in the same family. I'm an uncle, for God's sake.
She doesn't need an uncle. She needs a father. Go on. She'll tell you.
I never learned.
You mind if I sit here?
I wrapped my life up in Dave so much. I never learned to be their mother.
Look, Nora, if you want to talk, we'll talk. If not, not.
We have enough mothers around here. This is a family. The world doesn't survive without families. Lori, go on up and do your homework. Blanche, you make me a cup of tea. You're the only one around here who can make a decent cup of tea.
Nora, I know what it's like not to be heard.
You do?
I grew up in a family of 4 children. My father, before he died, couldn't remember any of our names. My oldest one was the big one. I was the little one. My brother Saul, the rotten one. Eddie, the skinny one.
Who am I?
The pretty one. Now what's the problem?
I don't know. Doesn't seem very important now.
I've never seen you cry over something that wasn't important. Look, I know I'm not your father. It's not my place to make decisions for you. But I can give advice. Advice is free. If it doesn't fit, you can always return it.
Can we take a walk down the block?
Sure. We'll walk to the ocean. As my father used to say, throw your problems out to sea and answers will wash back on shore.
Did they?
Not in Brighton Beach. Orange peels and watermelon pits washed up. That's why it's good to have someone who knows how to give advice.
Will you stop that? I'm trying to think.
Glad I don't have your problems.
How'd you like an official American League Baseball in your mouth?
Stan, I've got to talk to you. Really serious, important talk.
Everybody in this house has to have a talk with someone. Take a number off the wall and wait your turn.
I had this dream last night. It was about this girl. I can't tell you her name, but she was gorgeous. We were really kissing hard and rubbing up against each other. I felt this tremendous buildup come up, like at the end of the 39 steps. Then suddenly there was an explosion. Like a dam broke loose and everything flowed and rushed out into the sea. It was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life. And when I woke up, I was...
All wet?
Yeah, how'd you know?
It was a wet dream. You had a wet dream. I have them all the time.
You do? You mean there's nothing wrong with you if it happens?
You never had one before?
Yeah, but I slept through it.
Well, didn't you ever try to do it by yourself?
What do you mean?
Well, didn't you ever diddle with yourself?
No, never!
Oh, Moni, I've heard you. You diddle 3-4 times a week.
You mean diddle?
Whack off, masturbate.
Lori might hear you.
There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it, especially at our age. It's natural.
What do you mean, everybody? You know other guys who do it?
Every guy I know does it, except Haskell Fleischman, the fat kid. He does it to the other guys. You can't grow up without doing it. Your voice won't change.
Where do you get this stuff from? Is it in a medical book or something?
It's puberty.
It's what?
Puberty. You never heard that word before? You don't read books?
Yeah, The Citadel by A.J. Cronin. He never mentioned puberty.
Even Pop did it.
Pop. Our Pop. You know what, Stanley? I think you're full of shit.
Hey, don't you use that language. Who do you think you are? You're just a kid. Never let me hear you say that word again.
I don't get you. I mean, it's okay for you to say puberty, but I can't say shit.
Puberty is a scientific word. Shit is for those guys who hang around on the beach.
What do you expect me to say when you tell me Pop wax off?
He does it anymore because he's married now. But when he was a kid, 14 or 15, the whole world whacks off.
President Roosevelt, too?
Rich kids are the worst. They whack off from morning till night. In college, they sit around in their dorm rooms drinking beer and whack it off.
This is the most useful information you've ever given me, Stanley. What about girls?
5 times as much as boys.
5 times as much as boys? Is it an actual figure? Where do you know all this stuff from?
Now you pick it up. You learn it. It's handed down from generation to generation. That's how our culture spreads.
5 times as much as boys. Some of them don't even say hello to you, and they're home all night whacking off.
They're human just like we are. They have the same needs and desires.
Then why is it so hard to touch their boobs?
If you were a girl, would you want some guy jumping at you and grabbing your boobs?
If I had boobs, I'd love to touch them, wouldn't you?
I've got my own problems to think about.
How do girls do it?
I can't explain it.
Please, Stanley, I'll be your slave for a month. Just tell me how they do it.
I need a pencil and paper. I'll do it later.
Do you want crayons? Maybe you should do it in color.
Hey, Eugene, I've got a major problem in my life. I haven't got time to draw girls masturbating for you.
I'll bet Nora doesn't do it.
Boy, could I win money from you. You think she's in the bathroom 7 times a day just taking showers?
She does it in the bathroom?
I knew 2 girls who used to do it in English class. I saw a girl do it during her final exam, and she got a 98 on her paper. Is she the one you were thinking about last night?
No, someone else. One of the beach girls.
It was Nora. I see what's going on. I knew why you dropped your napkin 12 times at dinner tonight.
She drives me crazy. I think I'm in love with her.
Yeah? Well, forget it. She's your cousin.
What's wrong with being in love with your cousin?
Because it's against the laws of nature. If she was your stepsister, it would be dirty, but it would be okay. But you can't love your own cousin. And let me give you a piece of advice. When you're going through puberty, don't start with anyone in your own house.
Who made up those rules? Franklin Roosevelt married his cousin.
Maybe she was his 2nd or 3rd cousin, but you can't marry your 1st cousin. You get babies with 9 heads. I was probably back. I need to talk to him tonight.
I'd still love to see her naked. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, I do it all the time.
You've seen Nora naked.
Lots of times. I fixed the lock on the bathroom door, then opened it, pretending I didn't know anyone was in there.
I don't believe you. What a pig! What did she look like?
All I can say is I was pretty miserable she was my 1st cousin.
That night, I discovered lust and guilt were very closely related. I had to wash up.
Have a good time.
I don't do that!
I'm sorry. I forgot it was this Tuesday. I'll change my doctor's appointment.
You don't have to change anything. The girls will be with me.
When have I ever missed a year to the grave? Dave was my favorite person in the whole family. You know that.
You realize it'll be 6 years? Sometimes I forget his birthday, but the day he died, I never forget.
There wasn't another like him.
Lori asked me questions about him all the time. Was he funny? What was the funniest thing he ever said, she asked me. I couldn't remember. Isn't that awful, Kate?
You talk like your life is over. You're still a young woman. You're still beautiful, if you'd ever stop squinting so much.
I went with him for 2 years before we got married. What was I waiting for? That's 2 married years I didn't have with him.
Listen, Jack's company's having their annual fair this Wednesday in New York at the Commodore Hotel. You should see how all those women get all dressed up. Jack wants you to come with us. He told me to ask you.
Me? Who do I know in Jack's company?
You'll be with us. You'll meet people. Max Green will be at our table. He's the one whose wife died last year of tuberculosis. He's the #1 salesman in the whole company. He lives in a hotel on the Grand Concourse. Oh, he's a riot. You'll like him. Maybe you'll even dance with him.
I don't have a dress to wear for a thing like that.
You'll make something. Jack will get you some material. He knows everybody in the garment district.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. I can't go. Maybe next year.
Next year you won't even have any eyes altogether. What are you afraid of, Blanche? Dave said, but you're not. If God had wanted the both of you, you'd be lying in the grave next to him.
I made plans for next Wednesday night.
More important than this, they only have this affair once a year.
I'm having dinner with someone.
You having dinner? With a man? That's wonderful. Why didn't you tell me?
With Mr. Murphy.
Who's Mr. Murphy?
Oh my God.
I don't understand you. You're gonna go to dinner with that man? You know where he'll take you, don't you? To a saloon. To a bar and grill, that's where he'll take you.
We're going to Charov's, the Hungarian restaurant, and you never even met the man. Why do you dislike him so much?
I don't need to meet that kind. I just have to smell their breath when they open the windows. You know what that kind of man is looking for, don't you? I grew up with that kind on Avenue A. How many beatings did Stanley and Eugene take from those Irish hooligans? What do you have to talk to with a man like that?
Is that why you don't like him? Because he's Irish? When did the Jews and the Irish ever fought a war? Do you know who George Bernard Shaw is?
I don't care who he is.
One of the greatest Irish writers in the world. What would you say if he took me to Charles next Wednesday?
Oh, is Mr. Murphy a writer? Well, tell him to bring over some of his books. I'd be glad to read them.
Kate, when are you going to give up being an older sister?
I've heard stories about him with women. They like their women, you know. But if that's what you want, it's your business.
I decided to go downstairs and quiet my passion with oatmeal cookies.
We took a walk along the beach last Thursday. He hardly said a word. He's very shy, very quiet. He told me where his parents come from in Ireland. Their life wasn't any easier than Mama's and Papa's in Russia.
Nobody had it like they had it in Russia.
He holds down a decent job in a printer's office, and he didn't smell a liquor, and he behaved like a perfect gentleman.
No cookies for you, not till you finish that liver.
She's still saving it. I mean, it's gonna be in the icebox until I grow up.
No cookies, you hear me?
I just want a glass of water.
You have water up in the bathroom.
There's toothpaste in the glass. It makes me nauseous.
Listen, there's no point discussing this anymore. I'm going to bed. You do what you want.
Kate, I don't want to do anything that's going to make you unhappy. Or Jack. I owe too much to you. I can't live off you the rest of my life. Every decent job I try to get, I get turned down because of my eyes. The thought of marrying Frank Murphy never even occurred to me. Maybe not even to him. But I don't think one dinner at Charles is the end of the world.
I just don't want to see you get hurt. I never mean you any harm. I can take anything except for when someone in the family's mad at me.
I can never be mad at you, Kate. That I promise you to my dying day.
Oh, all right. Go have dinner with Frank Murphy. If Papa ever heard me say those words, he'd get up out of the cemetery and stand in front of our house with a big stick.
I told him to pick me up here. Is that all right?
Here? In my house?
2 minutes. I wanted you to meet him. At least see what he's like.
tell his mother to wash the windows. Maybe then I know what he's like.
Can I see Mr. Beckman tomorrow, yes or no?
Did you talk to your Uncle Jack?
I talked to Uncle Jack. I want a decision from you, Mother, yes or no?
What did he say?
It doesn't matter what he said. It's your decision or mine, Mother. Who's gonna make it?
I said, if I was her father, I'd tell her to finish high school. If she's got talent, there'll be plenty of other shows. I never made it past the 8th grade, and that's why I spend half my life on the subway and the other half trying to make a few extra dollars to keep this family from being out on the street.
I don't want this just for myself, Mom, but for you and for Lori. In a few years, we can have a house of our own, instead of all being cooped up in here like animals. We can pay Uncle Jack for what he's given us all these years. I'm asking for a way out, Mama. Don't shut me in. Don't shut me in for the rest of my life.
You promised you'd do what Uncle Jack said.
Doesn't make decisions. He offers advice. I want a decision, Mama, from you. Please.
You finish high school. You tell Mr. Beckham you're too young. You tell him your mama said no. That's my decision.
I see. Thank you very much for your advice, Uncle Jack. I'll let you know in the morning what my decision is.
Let her go, Blanche. You'll only make things worse.
It seems no matter what I do, I only make it worse.
What could I tell her? What could I say?
You inherit a family, you inherit their problems.
Good night.
Put the cookie on the table.
What good?
The oatmeal cookie in your front pocket. Put it on the table.
You can smell an oatmeal cookie from 10 feet away.
I could hear the cookie jar in the kitchen. Suddenly, everybody in this house is doing what they want. Your father's upset, and Blanche is upset. Put the cookie on the table!
I heard a lot of yelling. What happened?
I don't know, but it's my fault.
What are you going to do? Do you want me to talk to Mom? I can tell her I was getting flutters in my heart again. Don't you say that. Don't you ever pretend to be sick to get favors from anyone. I'm not pretending. There's not big flutters.
Stop fluffing up the pillows. The house could be burning down and you rush in to fluff up the pillows.
Let's go to bed, Jack. You're upset.
When does it get easier, Kate? When does a life get any easier?
At night, when you get 7 hours of sleep, that's the easiest it ever gets.
Close the door! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was in there.
Dad, do you think he can talk to you now? It'll just take 5 minutes.
Not now, Stanley. Your father's tired. He's practically asleep.
2 minutes. I'll tell it as fast as I can.
Go on, Kate. Go to bed. The boy wants to tell me something.
All right. Turn off the lights when you're through. Don't worry. We've been through much worse.
She saw me on the carpet. Nora saw me on the carpet. I might as well just be dead.
I have a problem, Pop.
If you didn't, you wouldn't live in this house.
It must be tough being a father. Everybody comes to you with their problems. You have to have all the answers. I don't know if I could handle it.
Stop trying to win me over. What's the problem?
I got fired today.
What?
Don't get excited. Don't get crazy. Let me explain what happened.
What did you do? Did you come in late? Were you fresh to somebody? Were you fresh to somebody?
No, I'm not fired yet. I can still get my job back. I just need you to help me make a decision.
Take the job back. I don't care what it is. This is not the time for anyone to be out of work in this family.
When I was 12, you gave me a talk about principles. Remember?
How long were you going to wait before you told me this news?
This is about principles, Pop.
All night. You waited to tell me this?
Will you at least hear my principles?
All right. principles. Then you'll hear mine.
All right, just sit back and I'll tell you what happened, okay? Well, it was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up.
So Stanley began his story. Pop never said anything. He just sat there and listened. Stanley was terrific. He was like that movie Abe Lincoln in Illinois. Not only was he defending his principles, but he was defending democracy in the United States of America. Pop must have been bleary-eyed, because not only did he have to deal with Stanley's principles, nor his career, getting Aunt Blanche married off, and Laurie's fluttering heart, but at any minute, there could be a knock on the door and 37 relatives from Poland looking for a place to live. Finally, Stanley finished his story.
So, either I bring in a letter of apology tomorrow, or I don't bother coming in. I know it's late, I know you're tired, but I didn't want to do anything without asking you first.
Oh, Stanley. Stanley.
I'm sorry, Pop.
You shouldn't have swept dirt on his shoes.
I know.
Especially in front of other people.
I know.
He's your boss. Pays your salary. His money puts food on a dining table.
I know, Pop.
We do not have money to waste. Believe me when I tell you that.
I believe you, Pop.
Last year, when you were sick 3 days, he only docked you a day and a half's pay. You remember that?
I know. I can see what you're getting at. I'll write the letter. I'll do it tonight.
On the other hand, that was a very courageous thing you did. You defended a fellow worker. Nobody else stood up for him, did they?
I was the only one.
That's something to be proud of. It's something you believed in. That's standing up for your principles.
That's why I didn't want to write the letter. I knew you'd understand.
The problem is, can this family afford principles right now?
You make it hard, I know.
Not just on you and me, but on your mother, Aunt Blanche, Nora, Laurie.
Eugene?
Eugene would have to get a part-time job. Time that should be spent studying books so he can get himself someplace.
He wants to be a writer. He wants to go to college.
I wish I could have sent you, Stanley. I've always been sick about that.
I like working, Pop. I really do. Listen, I've made up my mind. I'm going to write the letter.
I'm not saying that you should.
No, it's my decision. I really want to write the letter.
And how will your principals feel in the morning?
My principals feel better already. You told me you were proud of what I did. That's all I really care about.
You know something, Stanley? I don't think there's anything in college they can teach you that you don't already know.
Guess who I learned it from? All right, thanks for talking with me tonight, Pop. I'll see you in the morning. Are you coming to bed?
I think I'll just sit here a few minutes. It's the only time of day I get some time to myself.
How'd it go? Do you have to write the letter?
Yeah.
I knew that's what he'd make you do.
He didn't make me do it. Now be quiet, will you? I have to concentrate.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know. You want to help me? You're good at those things.
You know, people used to get paid in the old days. Professional letter writers.
I'm not going to pay you money.
I don't love money.
Then what do you want?
Tell me what Nora looks like naked.
How horny can you get?
I don't know. What's the highest score?
All right, we finished the letter.
I don't trust you. I want to get paid first.
You know you're a real shit.
Don't talk like that in front of me. I'm just a kid.
What do you want to know?
Everything. From the moment you opened the door.
It happened so fast.
That's okay. Tell it slow.
Jesus, all right. I heard the shower running. I waited for it to stop. I gave a couple seconds for the water to run off her body. Then I knew she'd be coming out of the shower. Suddenly, I just opened the door. She was standing there on the bath mat with a towel on her head, nothing else in the whole wide world.
No, slower. Don't go so fast.
Her breasts were gorgeous. Like two peaches on the vine waiting to be plucked. Maybe nectarines? like two nectarines, all soft and pink and shining in the morning sun.
See your mother, she's gorgeous. I'm waiting for her grand entrance. How's little Jack?
He's resting. He had a nice supper. You can go up and visit him later. Eugene, your father's resting. I don't want to hear any ball play against that wall.
I'm not playing, I'm writing.
Well, do it quietly.
She wants me to write quietly. If that's the only sentence I published in my memoirs, it'd be a bestseller. Everybody's been in a rotten mood around here lately. 3 days ago, Pop had a heart attack. It was sort of a warning. He was in the subway and a policeman had to bring him home. He's driving cabs at night trying to make extra cash and just plain wore out. The doctor says he'll have to stay in bed for 2 to 3 weeks, but Pop won't listen. Mr. Jacobson has a brother-in-law who needs a job, so he's filling in for Pop temporarily, but Pop thinks that 3 weeks in bed could lead to permanently.
I need to talk to you.
What's up?
I'm not here. Run up in our room. Don't tell anybody.
What's the big secret?
Will you shut up? Wait till I'm upstairs and follow me.
It's about Nora. I'm not interested. I forgot to tell you. I hate my cousin Nora. She's been real snotty to everybody lately. She doesn't say hello to you in the morning, and she eats her dinner up in her room. And she's been seeing that guy Larry Nochin Clerman every night. And she's not as pretty as I thought she was.
Eugene, did you bring your father his paper yet?
I'm coming. My knee hurts. I fell down the stairs at school today.
Well, bring it up to him. Your father's waiting for it.
If I told her I just lost both hands in an accident, she'd tell me to go upstairs and wash my face with my feet. I guess she's sore because she and Pop didn't get to go to the affair at the Commodore Hotel. They had Glenn Gray and his orchestra. I feel sorry for her because she doesn't get to go out much. I guess she's nervous because Frank Murphy's coming to pick up Aunt Blanche tonight. She's angry at the whole world. And that's why she's making lime cheese for dinner.
Would you like a cashew, Lori?
Thank you. And an almond? And a Brazil too?
Oh, you must be starving. We're eating dinner late tonight. We'll wait till your mother goes out.
Can I have some nuts, Mom?
Just one for the company. And we're eating dinner in the kitchen. You and Stanley help with the dishes. Oh, you look all flushed. Are you getting a fever? Oh, let me see. Oh, what is on your tongue? It's all spotted.
It's a cashew nut.
Oh. All right, well, if you're not feeling well, I want you upstairs resting.
I have a little stomach cramp. Maybe I'm getting my ladies.
Your what?
My ladies! The thing Nora gets when she can't go in the water.
Well, maybe, but if your stomach hurts real bad, you come and tell me. I made a nice tuna fish salad for dinner. Call me when your mother comes down.
Aunt Kate, does Mama like Mr. Murphy?
I don't know, darling. I don't think she knows him very well yet.
Do you like him?
I never spoke to the man.
What's a Cossack? Are those the kind that don't like Jewish people?
I'm sure Mr. Murphy likes your mother, otherwise he wouldn't have invited her to dinner.
If Mama married him, would we have to live in that doghouse across the street with that creepy woman in the window?
We're not there yet. Let's just get through Shardov's restaurant first.
Pop's feeling better. He threw the newspaper at me because I didn't give him the evening edition.
Lock the door.
You look terrible. You're crying. Your eyes are all red.
I'm in trouble, Huge. I mean, real trouble.
When did you take up smoking?
I smoke in this stockroom all the time. Don't let me see you doing it. It's a bad habit.
And how come you do it?
I like it.
What brand do you smoke?
Lucky Strikes.
I knew you would. That's the best brand.
I swear to God, when I tell you, you'll never tell a living soul.
I take an oath on the life of the entire New York Yankees. What's up?
I lost my salary.
What?
The entire $17 is gone. I lost it.
Where? In the subway?
In a poker game. I lost it gambling.
In a poker game?
Will you shut up? You want to kill Pop right in his bedroom?
You never told me you gambled.
We were just lunch hour for pennies. I always won, a dime, a quarter. It wasn't just luck. I was really good.
$17.
Well, when Pop was sick, I thought I could make some extra money to help out. So I played this game over in the stockroom at Floorshine Shoes, and boy, did I learn about poker. They cleaned me out in 20 minutes.
What are you gonna tell them?
I don't know. If Pop wasn't sick, I'd tell him the truth. Last week, he tells me how proud he is of me. And he's driving a cab at nights, and I'm playing poker at Floorshines.
Suppose you won. Suppose you won $50. You just had bad luck, that's all.
No, I had no chance against those guys. They were gamblers. They all wore pointy black shoes with clocks on their socks. If Pop dies, I'll hang myself, I swear.
Don't talk like that. Pop's not gonna die. Hit 3 lamb chops for dinner tonight. How would you have a hole in your pocket? You could tear a hole in your pocket.
I already used that one.
When?
In November, when I lost $5, the Pop said to me, from now on, check your pockets every morning.
What happened to the $5? Did you gamble that too?
No, I gave it to a girl. You know, a pro.
A pro what? A prostitute? Went to one of those places? Holy shit!
I'm not going to warn you about that word again.
Is that what it costs? $5?
No, $2.50. I went with this guy I know, and he still owes me.
Who was she? What did she look like? How old was she?
Don't start in with me, Eugene.
Did she get completely naked?
Every time I get in trouble, I have to tell you what a naked girl looks like. Do me a favor, Eugene. Go in the bathroom, whack off, and grow up by yourself.
Don't get sore. If you were me, you'd ask the same questions.
Yeah, well, I never had an older brother to teach me these things. I had to do it all by myself. You don't know how lucky you are being the younger one. You don't have my responsibilities. You're still in school looking up girls' dresses on the staircases.
I worked plenty hard in school.
Yeah? Well, then let me see your report card. It's the first of the month. I know you got it. I want to see your report card.
I don't have to show you my report card. You're not my father.
Yes, I am. As long as Pop's sick, I am. I'm the only one in the family who's working, ain't I?
Well, then where's your salary this week, Pop?
I hate you sometimes. You're nothing but a lousy shit. I help you all the time, and you never help me without wanting something for it. I hate your stinking guts.
Not as much as I hate yours. You snore at night. You pick your toenails. You stink up the bathroom when I go in there. I have to puke.
I want to see your report card. Give it to me, goddammit, or I'll beat your face in.
You want my report card? Here's my lousy report card, you shit!
Four A's and a B. That's good. That's real good, Eugene. You're smart. I want you to go to college. I want you to be somebody important someday, because I'm not. I'm no damn good. I'm sorry I said all those things to you.
Me too. I'm sorry.
Hi, Uncle Jack. Are you feeling any better?
A little, darling. Your mother's not down yet?
No.
I wanted to see her before she went out.
Oh my God. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You're walking down the stairs?
I got tired of laying in that bed. Besides, I wanted to see Blanche.
And how are you going to get back up the stairs? You think I'm going to carry you? The doctor said you're not even supposed to go to the bathroom, didn't he?
You trust doctors? My grandmother never saw one in her life. She lived to be 87.
She didn't have high blood pressure. She never fainted in the subway.
She used to faint 3-4 times a week. We're fainters. It's in the family. Lori, sweetheart, would you get your Uncle Jack a glass of ice water, please?
Now?
Yes, now, sweetheart. The girl is pampered too much. You should let her do more work around the house. You don't get healthy lying on couches all day.
No. You get healthy driving cabs all night after cutting raincoats for 9 hours. What are you trying to do, Jack? Kill yourself? You gonna leave me to take care of this family all by myself?
You think I'll get better faster if you make me feel guilty? I was born with enough guilt, Katie. If I need more, I'll ask for it.
I'm sorry. You know me, I'm not happy unless I can worry. My family were worriers. Worriers tend to very faint.
I'm not gonna leave you. If I didn't leave you for another woman, I'm certainly not gonna drop dead just to leave you.
What other woman? That bookkeeper, Helene?
Again with Helene? You'll never forget that I danced with her 2 years at the Commodore Hotel.
Don't tell me she didn't find you attractive. I noticed that right off.
What does she want with a cutter? She likes the man up front, the salesman. She's a widow. She's looking to get married.
You're an attractive man, Jack. Women like you.
Me attractive? You must really think I'm dying, don't you?
You don't know women like I do. Just promise me one thing. If anything ever did happen with that Helene, let me go to my grave without hearing it.
I see. Now that you're worried about Helene, you've decided that you're going to die first.
I haven't chopped the ice. I'm all out of breath.
It's exercise. It's good for you, sweetheart.
I'm going out. I'm going to be having dinner. I'll be home late. I have my key. Good night.
Nora, don't you want to see how your mother looks?
I'm sure she looks beautiful. She doesn't need me to tell her that.
What about Mr. Murphy? I know your mother wants him to meet you and Laurie. He'll be here any minute.
I have someone waiting for me. I can meet Mr. Murphy some other time.
I think it would be nice, Nora, if you stayed. Your mother will be very hurt if you leave without saying goodbye.
I'm sure that's very good advice, Uncle Jack. I know just how my mother feels. I'm not so sure she knows how I feel.
What do I do, Jack?
Leave it alone. It's between Nora and Blanche. It's something they have to work out.
Who's she going out with? Where does she go every night?
With Larry Flerman. He borrows his father's car and takes it to the cemetery.
What cemetery?
Where Daddy is buried. She goes to see Daddy.
What do I tell her, Jack? I don't want to ruin her evening.
Jack, what are you doing down here?
You have company coming. Where else should I be?
I looked in your room. I got scared to death.
Well, you don't look it. You look beautiful.
Oh, Blanche. Oh, my God. It's stunning. Like a movie star. Who's that movie star I like so much, Laurie?
Irene Dunn.
Like Irene Dunn.
I think he looks like Rosalind Russell. Maybe Carol Lombard.
I think she looks like Blanche. Blanche is prettier than all of them.
I had such trouble with the makeup. I couldn't see my eyes to put on the mascara, so I had to put on my glasses, and then I couldn't get the mascara on under the glasses.
Oh, have you got your glasses? Do you have them?
They're in my purse. I thought I'd put them on in the restaurant when I'm looking at the menu.
Make sure you do. I don't want you coming home telling me you don't know what he looks like.
So glad to see you up, Jack. Then you're feeling better.
I just needed a rest, that's all. Besides, I wanted to meet this Murphy fellow. A stranger comes into your house, he likes to see another man. It makes him feel comfortable.
Thank you, Jack. It's very thoughtful of you.
Here, wear this. Don't say no, Blanche, just put them on.
Your pearls. Your good pearls.
What are they gonna do, sit up in my drawer all year? Pearls are like people. They like to be taken out and seen every once in a while.
You were going to wear them to the affair tonight. I'm so wrapped up in myself, I forgot. You're missing the affair this year.
I can afford to miss it. I don't see Jack there the whole night anyway.
Well, let's see how they look.
Oh, I'm so nervous I'll lose them.
All right, now tell me, I don't have a beautiful sister.
Now I feel good. Now I feel like I got my money's worth.
Definitely Carol Lombard.
Go up and get Nora. I want to show them to Nora.
She's not here. She left.
What do you mean she left? Without saying goodbye?
She had to meet somebody. She wanted to wait for you.
She could have come in my room. She knew I wanted to see her.
She'll see you when you get home. You look just as pretty at midnight.
What did she say? Did she say anything?
You're going out. You're gonna have a good time.
She's making me pay for it, isn't she? She knows she can get to me so easily. That's what I get for making decisions.
I feel like ice cream for dessert. Lori, you feel like ice cream for dessert?
Butter pecan?
Butter pecan for you, big walnut for me. Go upstairs and tell Eugene I want him to go to the store.
I'll go with him.
Don't run, darling.
Let her run. If she gets tired, she'll tell you. Stop worrying so much about each other.
Eugene, your father wants to go to the store.
Tell him I'm sick. My stomach hurts.
You don't want any ice cream?
Ice cream? Wait a minute. It's funny how quickly you can recover from misery when someone offers you ice cream.
She's only 16, Blanche. At that age, they're still wrapped up in themselves.
How am I going to become a writer if I don't know how to suffer? Actually, I'd give up writing if I could see a naked girl while I was eating ice cream.
What time is it?
It's 6:30. He'll be here any minute. Get your mind off Nora. Don't wear my curls out for nothing.
Eugene, go to Hanson's. Get a half pint of butter pecan, half pint of maple walnut, half pint of chocolate for yourself, and Kate, what do you want?
I am in no mood for ice cream.
Get a vanilla, she'll eat it. And whatever Stanley wants.
I need money.
I paid the doctor $15 today. Go up to Stanley, he got paid today. Ask for his salary.
What?
Oh, here's $1. Hurry back. I want Lori to meet Mr. Murphy, but don't run.
Do you know what I worry about at nights? That she'll run off. That I'll wake up in the morning and she'll be gone. Philadelphia, Boston, God knows where.
Look how this woman is getting ready to go out on a date. Is that what you're going to talk about? He'll stop drinking in 5 minutes.
You think so? What if he gets drunk?
You come home. Do you have money? Do you have car fare?
No, I didn't take anything.
Wait here. I'll get $5 from Stanley. Now I have something else to worry about.
I could use a cup of hot tea.
Oh, okay, you sit there. I'll make it.
We'll both make it. Keep me company. We could get a bell from the kitchen.
Stanley, are you in there?
Yeah?
I need $5 for Aunt Rach. Did you get paid today, Stanley?
Yes, I got paid that.
Well, take out your money for the week and give me the envelope.
I don't have it.
You don't have the envelope?
I don't have the money.
What do you mean you don't have the money?
I mean, I don't have it. It's gone.
Gone? Gone where?
It's just gone. I don't have it. I can't get it back. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it anymore. Just don't ask me any more questions.
Don't ask me any more questions. I want to know what happened to $17, Stanley.
You'll tell Pop. If I tell you, you're going to tell Pop.
Why shouldn't I tell you about... I want to know what happened to that money.
I gambled it! I lost it playing poker, all right? Are you happy? Are you satisfied now?
I can't deal with this right now. I have to get your Aunt Blanche out of the house. Gotta worry about your father's health. You're gonna sit up here. You're gonna think of a story. Someone stole that money. You were robbed. I don't care who, and I don't care where. But that's what you're gonna tell your father. Because if you tell him the truth, you'll kill that man as sure as I'm sitting here. And tonight, when he goes to bed, you meet me in the kitchen. We'll deal with this alone.
I'm sorry.
I left my purse in here. Without my glasses, I'm afraid to pour the tea. Hey, what is it? What's wrong?
Nothing, I'm just all nerves tonight.
You're worried about Jack. He shouldn't have come down the stairs.
He knows he's not supposed to be out of bed. Why don't we pay a doctor? He doesn't listen to him.
And I shouldn't have asked Mr. Murphy to come over. That's the only reason he came down.
It's not just Mr. Murphy, it's Stanley, it's Eugene,
to everybody. I'm sorry about Nora. Jack told me what she said when she left.
Maybe you better get your purse blanched. He'll be here any minute.
Did Nora say anything to hurt you? She's been very difficult these past few days.
Why is it always Nora? Why is it always your problems? You think you're the only one in this room with troubles? We all have troubles. We all get our fair share.
Sorry, Kate. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Maybe you're just stronger than me. You survived Dean's death. Oh, I don't know if I can handle it if anything happened to Jack. Oh, he'll be all right, Kate. Nothing's gonna happen to him. He's still a young man. He's strong. You know, when Dave died, I cried for his loss. I was so angry. Angry at God for taking a man so young. But I don't think it was till this very moment that I realized what you went through. How did you get through Avalanche? I had you. I had Jack. But mostly you live with your children. The children keep you going. My children. I wake up every morning for Nora and for Lori.
Nora treats you so badly and you can still say that?
Why? Don't you think we hurt our parents? You don't remember how Mama cried when Celia left home. Well, sure, it hurts, but if you love someone, you forgive them.
Some things you forgive. Some things you just never forgive.
Is the ice cream here yet?
No, darling. Didn't you go with Eugene?
No, I was across the street in a creepy house. It's just as creepy inside.
Mr. Murphy's house. You were just in there. Why?
Well, she called from the window. The old lady, I think it's his mother, she told me she had a letter for you. I had to go inside to get it.
What did she say to you?
Well, she offered me a cookie, but it was all green. I said I wasn't hungry.
Dear Mrs. Moran, I sent my regrets for my son Frank. I tried to reach you earlier, then realized you had no phone. Frank will be unable to keep his dinner engagements with you this evening. Frank is in the hospital as a result of an automobile accident, and although his injuries are not serious, his consequences are. As a devoted mother, I would end this letter here and forward my apologies. Despite my son's faults, honesty and sincerity are none of his failings. He wanted me to tell you the truth. That while driving a friend's motor car, he was intoxicated and was the cause of the aforementioned accident. The news will come out soon enough, and he has too much fondness and respect for you to hear from another source. I hope you will not think I am just a doting mother when I tell you my son has a great many attributes, a great many. As soon as Frank can get out of his difficulties, we have decided to move upstate New York, where there is a clinic that can help Frank, and where there are relatives with whom he can stay. Frank sends along with his regrets a regard for a warm, friendly, intelligent, and most delightful neighbor across the way. Yours most respectfully, Mrs. Matthew.
What is it? He's not coming. He's in the hospital.
It was a sad letter, all right, but it was sure well written. Maybe I should have been born in Ireland.
I knew it. I said it right from the beginning.
Why is he in the hospital?
He was in a car accident. Oh, God. That poor woman.
Does that mean you're not going out to dinner?
That could have been you in that car. I warned you about those people.
They're not those people. Stop calling them those people. She's a mother, like you and me.
What is he? Tell me what he is.
He's somebody in trouble. He's somebody that needs help. For God's sakes, Kate, you don't even know the man.
I know the man. I know what they're all like.
Who are you to talk? Are we any better? Are we something so special? We're all poor around here. The least we can be is charitable.
Why? What have I got that I can afford to give away? Am I the one that got you all dressed up for nothing? Am I the one who got your hopes up? Am I the one that's gonna lock up in some jail somewhere?
We're going to put him in jail?
Don't talk to me about charity. Anybody else but not me.
I never said you weren't charitable.
All I ever did was try to help you. All I ever did was try to help you.
I know that. Nobody cares for the family more than you do. But at least you can be sympathetic to somebody else in trouble.
Who should I care about? Who's out there looking out for me? I did enough for people in my life. You know what I'm talking about.
for 3 years. I never said a word to her.
What are you walking around for? If you're gonna be out of bed, at least sit in a chair.
If I could take Nora and Lori and pack them out of this house tonight, I would. But I can't. I have no place to take them.
Blanche, what are you talking about? Don't say such things.
If I could leave the girls with you for a few more weeks, I would appreciate it until I can find a place of my own, and then I'll send for them.
Nobody's sending for anybody, and nobody's leaving.
Stay out
I
of
don't
this,
want to
Jack.
hear this kind of talk.
Let her do what she wants.
I know a woman in Manhattan Beach. I can stay with her for a few days, and then I'll find a job. I will do anything anybody asks me, but I will never be a burden to anyone again.
Blanche, stop this. Stop it right now. What the hell is going on here? A fight between two sisters that should have happened 25 years ago? You want to let it out, Blanche? Let it out. Tell her what's it like to live in a house that isn't your own. To have to rely on someone else to put food on your plate every night. Know what it's like. Because I lived that way until I was 21 years old. Tell her, Kate, what it's like to be an older sister. To suddenly be the one who has to work and shoulder all the responsibility and get none of the affection and hugs, even though you were the only one there. Do you think I don't see that with Stanley and Eugene? With Nora and Lori? You think I don't hear the fights that go on in those rooms night after night? Go on, Kate. Yell at her. Scream at her. Call her names, Blanche. Tell her to go to hell for the first time in your life. And then, when you both have it out of your systems, give each other a hug and go have dinner. My lousy ice cream's melting, for God's sake.
I love you both very much. No matter what Kate says to me, I will never stop loving her. But I have to get out. If I don't leave now, I will lose whatever self-respect I have left. For people like us, sometimes the only thing we really own is our dignity. And when I grow old, I would like to have as much as Mrs. Matthew Murphy across the street.
What happened, Kate? Something terrible must have happened to get you to behave like that. It wasn't Blanche. It was something else. What was it?
Tell the kids to come down in 5 minutes. We eat dinner in the kitchen tonight.
Get Stanley and Lori. Dinner's in 5 minutes.
It was the first time in my life I didn't get blamed for what just happened. I felt real sorry for everybody, but as long as I wasn't to blame, I didn't feel all that bad. That's when I realized I had a selfish streak in me. I sure hope I do grow out of it one day. Aunt Blanche was leaving.
For where?
She said she's going to stay with some lady in Manhattan Beach. She and Mom just got into a big fight. She's going to send for Lori and Nora when she finds a job.
What did they fight about?
I don't know, I couldn't hear it all. I guess Mom sort of blames Aunt Blanche for Pop having to work so hard.
Oh, God. Did Mom say anything about me? About what happened to my salary?
You told her? Why did you tell her? I came up with 12 terrific lies for you.
How much money you got?
Me? I don't got no money.
The hell you don't? You've got money in your cigar box. How much do you have?
I got $1.12. It's my life savings.
Let me have it. I'll pay you back. Don't worry.
What are you putting those things on for?
In case I have to sleep out tonight, I'm leaving. Gene, I don't know where I'm going just yet, but I'll write to you when I get there.
You're leaving home?
When I'm gone, you tell Aunt Blanche what happened to my salary. Then she'll know why Mom was so angry. You tell her to please not leave, because it was all my fault, not hers. Will you do that?
I have 8 cents worth of stamps. You want that too?
Thanks. What's this?
It's the medal you won from the 100-yard dash.
From the police athletic league?
You gave it to me. You can have it back if you want it.
It's not worth anything.
It is to me.
Sure. You can keep it.
Thanks. Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. I was thinking about joining the army. Pop says it'll be a war in a couple years anyway. I could be a sergeant or something by the time it starts.
Maybe if the war lasts long enough, we could be in the same outfit.
You don't go in the army unless they come get you. You go to college, you hear? Promise me you'll go to college.
Probably have to stay home and get a job. If you leave, we'll need the money.
I'll send home my paycheck every month. A sergeant in the army makes real good dough. Well, I better get going.
Why do you have to leave?
Oh, don't start crying, they'll hear you.
They'll get over it. They won't stay mad at you forever. I was mad at you and I got over it.
Because of me, the whole family's breaking apart. And do you want Nora to end up like one of those cheap boardwalk girls?
I don't care. I'm not in love with Nora anymore.
Well, you should care. She's your cousin. Don't turn out to be like me.
I don't see what's so bad about you.
Take care of yourself, Eugene. If you ever write a story about me, call me Hank. I always liked the name Hank.
I guess there comes a time in everybody's life when you could say at this very moment is the end of my childhood. I knew when Stanley closed that door that time had come. I was scared, I was lonely, and I hated my mother and father for making them feel that way. Even if they were right, I still hated them. I even hated Stanley a little bit because he left me to grow up all by myself.
Eugene, Lori, it's dinner. I'm not waiting all night.
And I hated her for leaving Stanley's name out when she called us for dinner. I don't know if parents know how cruel they can be sometimes. At dinner, I tried to tell them about Stanley, but I just couldn't get the words out. I left the table without even eating my ice cream. If it was suffering I was after, I was beginning to learn about it.
It's 10 o'clock. Where is Stanley so late?
Never mind, Stanley. You should have been in bed an hour ago.
Why won't you tell me what happened between you and that boy?
I'm tired, Jack. I've had enough to deal with for one day.
I wanted to go with Kendall and me on Saturday. If they don't go for 3 or 4 weeks, they forget their religion altogether.
The house was quieter than I had ever heard it before. Aunt Blanche was in her room packing, Mom and Pop were in their room. I had to talk to somebody or else I would have gone crazy. I didn't have much choice. Lori, Eugene, can I come in?
What do you want? I'm reading.
I just wanted to talk.
I didn't say yes, did I?
Well, I'm already in here, so it's too late. What are you reading?
The Citadel by A.J. Cronin.
I read it. It's terrific. I hear your mother's leaving in the morning.
We're leaving too as soon as she finds a job.
I can't believe I'm going to be the only one left here.
I mean, you and Stanley.
Stanley's gone. I think he's going to join the army.
You mean he ran away?
No, only kids run away. When you're Stanley's age, you just leave.
You didn't say goodbye.
My parents don't even know about it. I'm going to tell them now.
I wonder if we'll have to go to a different school.
Well, I meet all new friends.
I don't care. I don't have any friends here anyways.
So you're always in the house. You never get out.
I can't because of my condition.
You don't look sick to me. Do you feel sick?
No, but my mother tells me I am.
I don't trust parents anymore.
Why would she lie to me?
To keep you around. Once I find out Stanley's gone, they're gonna handcuff me to my bed.
I would leave my mother anyways. Even when I'm older, even if I get married, I'll never leave my mother.
Mr. Murphy across the street never left his mother. He ended up in jail.
None of this would have happened if my father was still alive.
How did you feel when he died?
I don't remember. I cried a lot because I saw my mother crying.
I would hate if my father died. Especially with Stanley gone. We'd probably have to move out of this house.
Well, then you and your mother could come and live with us.
So if we're all ending up back together, what's the point of breaking up now?
I don't know. I just finished reading.
You don't get too far talking to Lori. Sometimes I think the flutter in her heart is really in her brain. I went into the room and I broke the news about Stanley. The monumental news that their other son had run off to fight for his country, probably to get killed in France. She said, "Go to bed. He'll be home when it gets cold out." I couldn't believe it, their own son. At that moment, I suspected that Stanley and I were adopted. I waited on the steps until it got cold out, but he never showed up.
I wanted to talk to you.
Now? It's late.
I know it's late. We could have talked earlier if you hadn't come home at 12 o'clock at night.
How was your dinner?
I didn't go. Mr. Murphy was in an accident.
I'm sorry. Is he all right?
He has his problems, like the rest of us. I was very hurt that you left tonight without saying goodbye.
Someone waiting for me.
So was I. Knew it was important to me.
I'm not feeling very well. You purposely left without seeing me.
You've never done that before.
Can we talk about this in the morning?
I won't be here in the morning.
And tomorrow night?
I'm leaving, Nora. I'm moving out in the morning.
What are you talking about?
Aunt Kate and I had a fight tonight. We said some terrible things to each other. Things that have been bottled up since we were children. I'm going to stay with my friend Louise in Manhattan Beach until I can find a job. And then I'll send for you and Lori.
I can't believe it. You mean it wasn't all right for me to leave you, but it's all right for you to leave us?
I was never concerned about your leaving me. It was your future I was worrying about.
It was my future. Why couldn't I have something to say about it?
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I never made decisions for the family. Your father did. Everyone always took care of me. My mother, my sisters, your father, even you and Lori. I've been a very dependent person all my life.
Maybe that's all I'm asking for. To be independent.
You earn your independence. You don't take it at the expense of others. Would that job even be offered to you if someone in this house hadn't paid for your dancing lessons and kept a roof over your head and clothes on your back? If anyone's going to pay Uncle Jack back, it'll be me. Doing God knows what, I don't know. But one thing I'm sure of, I will steal before I let my daughter show that man 1 ounce of ingratitude or disrespect.
So that's it. I have to give up the one chance that I may never get again. Is that it? I have to pay for what you couldn't do with your own life.
What right do you have to judge me like that?
Touch you. I can't even talk to you. I don't exist to you. I have tried so hard to get close to you, but there was never any room. Whatever you had to give went to Daddy when he died, but it was left to give to...
What? Finish what you were going to say.
I've been jealous my whole life. Lori, She was lucky enough to be born sick. I could never have a light on in my room at night or read in bed because, well, Lori always needed a precious sleep. I could never have a friend over on the weekend because Lori was always resting. I used to pray that I'd get some terrible disease or get hit by a car so I'd end up with a leg all twisted or crippled so that once, maybe just once, I get to crawl in bed with you on a cold, rainy night and just talk to you until I fall asleep in your arms just once.
Oh my God, Nora! Is that what you think of me?
Is it any worse than what you think of me?
I am not going to let you hurt me, Nora. I am not going to let you tell me that I don't love you, or that I haven't tried to give you as much as I gave Lori. God knows I'm not perfect, because enough angry people in this house told me so tonight. But I am not going to be a doormat to all of the frustrations and unhappiness that you or Aunt Kate or anyone else wants to lay at my feet. I did not create this universe. I do not decide who lives or dies, who is rich or poor, who feels loved and who feels deprived. If you feel cheated that Lori gets more than you, then I feel cheated that I had a husband who died at 36. And if you keep on feeling that way, you'll end up like me, with something much worse than loneliness and helplessness, and that's self-pity. Believe me, there is no leg that's twisted or bent that is more crippling than a human being who thrives on his own misfortunes. I am sorry, Nora, that you feel unloved. And I will do everything I can to help change it, except apologize for it. I'm tired of apologizing. After a while, it becomes your life's work, and it doesn't bring any money into the house. If it has taken your pain and Kate's anger to get me to stop living again, then God will give me the strength to make it up to you. But I will not go back to being that frightened, helpless woman that I created. I've already buried someone I love. Now, it's time to bury someone I hate.
I never asked you to hate yourself. I just asked you to love me.
I do, Nora. Oh, God. Why can't I make that clear to you?
I feel so terrible
Why?
because I think I hurt you. And because I still want that job with Mr. Beckman.
I know you do.
I can't have it, can I?
How can I answer that without you still thinking I'm depriving you?
I don't know. Maybe you just did.
I hope so, no. I pray to God so.
I heard voices. I didn't know who it was.
I'm sorry we woke you. Go on up to bed, Nora. We'll talk again in the morning.
All right. Good night, Aunt Kate.
Is she all right?
Yes.
She's not angry anymore?
No, Kate. No one's angry anymore. I just explained everything to Nora. The girls will help me with all the housework when I'm gone. Lori's strong enough to do a share, after being a baby long enough.
Those girls have never been any trouble to me. Never.
I'll try to take them on the weekends if I can. It's late. We could both use a good night's sleep.
There, don't go. I feel badly enough for what I said. Don't make me feel any worse.
Everything you said tonight was true. I wish to God you'd said it years ago.
What am I going to do without you? Who do I have to talk to all day? What friends do I have in this neighborhood? Even the Murphys across the street are leaving.
You and I never had our troubles before tonight. It's the girls I'm thinking about now.
get a job overnight and apartments are expensive. Why are you looking? Why you gotta stay with a stranger in Manhattan Beach?
Louise isn't a stranger. She's a good friend.
To me, good friends are strangers, but sisters? Sisters are sisters.
I'm afraid of becoming comfortable here. If I don't get out now, I'm allowed to do it.
The door's open. Go whenever you want. When you've got the job, when you find the apartment, I'll help you move. I can even help you look. I know how to bargain with these landlords.
You wouldn't mind doing that?
They see a woman all alone, they take advantage. I can find out what they want for the roofing place. Could be very expensive, she never cleaned it.
How independent can I become if I live right across the street from you?
Far enough away that you can close your own front door, but close enough that I won't feel so lonely.
If I lived on the moon, you would still be close to me, Kate.
Oh, that's good. I'll tell Jack. You want to go to bed till I promise to come back with some good news?
I suddenly feel so hungry.
Of course. You didn't have supper. Let me fix you some scrambled eggs.
No, I'll make them. I'm an independent woman now.
With your eyes, you'll never get the eggs in the pan.
So Aunt Blanche decided to stay while she was looking for a job. Nora went back to school the next morning, gave me a big smile, and her legs looked as creamy white as ever. Gloria was asked to take out the garbage, but suddenly got a flutter in her heart, so I had to do it. Life was back to normal.
Eugene? Go back to Greenlands. I need flour.
How much? A teaspoon? Still, he never came home that night. And although Mom never said anything, I knew she was plenty worried. She told Pop how Stanley lost some money gambling, and from the sounds coming from the room, I figured he should forget about the army and try for a foreign legion. Then all of a sudden, the next night around dinner, he came home. I was never more excited to see anybody in my entire life.
Hi. Where's Mom and Pop?
Mom's in the kitchen cooking. Pop's upstairs in his prayer book. I thought that if God didn't bring you home, maybe her potato pancakes would. So, did you join up?
I came pretty close. I passed a physical 1, 2, 3.
I knew you would.
I mean, they were offering me donuts, cigarettes, the whole sales pitch. I mean, they really wanted me.
I'll bet.
But just as I was about to sign my name, I stopped cold, put down the pen and said, "I'm sorry. Maybe some other time." And walked out.
How come?
I couldn't do it to Pop. Right now, he needs me more than the Army does. And I know Mom didn't mean it when she said she'd never forgive me for losing the money, but if I walked out on the family now, maybe she never would.
Gee, I thought you'd be halfway to training camp by now. But I'm real glad you're home, Stanley.
Eugene, I need a pint of sweet cream and some more sugar.
Stanley's home.
Hi, Mom.
Give me a 2-pound bag. I want to make a chocolate cake.
A 2-pound bag from Greenlights. I'll need identification.
Are you staying for dinner?
I'm staying as long as you'll let me.
Why wouldn't I let you stay? This is your home. Your father's been very worried about you. I think you owe him some sort of explanation.
I was just about to do that. Hi, Pop. How you feeling? Look, I'm sorry about not coming home last night. I know it was wrong. I just didn't know how to tell you about the money. And I know it doesn't mean anything to say I'll never do it again, because I won't. Never, I swear. I've got $3 from last night. I went to Dominic's bowling alley and I set pins until midnight. And I can make another 6 on the weekend, so that makes 9. I'll get the $17 back, Pop, I promise. I'm not afraid of hard work. That's the one thing you taught me. Hard work and principles. That's the code I'm going to live by for the rest of my life. So, if you have anything you'd like to say to me, I'd be very glad to listen.
Did you read the paper today, Stanley?
No, Pop.
There's going to be a war. A terrible war.
I know.
The biggest war the world has ever seen. It frightens me. We're still not over the last war yet. And already starting another one.
We don't talk about it much at the store because of Mr. Strawheim being German and all.
My brother Michael was killed in the last war. I told you that.
You showed me his picture in uniform.
He's only 19 years old. The day he left, he didn't look any older than Eugene.
I know.
He was killed the second week he was overseas.
I know.
He couldn't take me because I was only 16 years old. Both parents were dead. And I lived with my Aunt Rose and Uncle Maury. They had 2 sons in the Navy. Both of them wounded. Both of them decorated.
Uncle Leon and Uncle Paul, right?
My brother would have been 45 years old this month. He was such a handsome boy. Good athlete, good dancer, good everything. I idolized him. The way Eugene idolizes you.
No, he doesn't.
He does, believe me. I always hear him talking to his friends outside. My brother this, my brother that. Brothers have a way of talking to each other that fathers and sons never do. I didn't know a thing about girls until my brother Michael told me. It's that way between you and Eugene, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell him a few things.
That's good. I'm glad you guys are so close. I missed all that when Michael went away. Which is why I'm glad he didn't do anything foolish last night. I hear you and Eugene sometimes talking about joining the army. The time for that will come soon enough, I'm afraid.
I did think about it. It was on my mind.
Don't you know, Stanley? There's nothing you could do that was ever so terrible. I couldn't forgive you. I know why you gambled. I know how badly it makes you feel. It was a mistake, you know that. I've lost money gambling in my time. I know how it feels.
You did?
You sound so surprised? You think your father's a perfect human being? Someday, I'll tell you about some of the other things I did that wasn't so perfect. Not even your mother knows. If you grow up thinking I was a perfect human being, you'll hate yourself for every mistake you ever made. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's what you have a mother and father to do.
You're not hard on me. You're always fair.
You try to be. You're a good son, Stanley. You don't even realize that. There are men in that factory who haven't spoken to their sons in 5-6 years. Boys who don't have an ounce of respect for anyone, including themselves. Who haven't worked a day in their life or given their parents a day's pleasure. Thank God I can't say that about you, Stanley.
I gambled away $17 and you're telling me how terrific I am.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. If you were home last night, I would have thrown you and your clothes out the window. Today I'm calm. Today I read the newspaper. Today I'm afraid for all of us.
I understand.
All right. After dinner, you will apologize to your mother and give her the $3.
I will.
And apologize to your Aunt Blanche. She was worried about you too.
I will.
But you can thank your brother Eugene. He came into my room this afternoon and told me how badly you felt. He was almost in tears himself. The way he defended your case, I'd swear we had Clarence Terror in the room.
Eugene's a terrific kid.
All right. Go wash up and get ready for dinner. And then later, I'll take you out back and I'll teach you how to play poker.
Terrific!
Is Eugene back yet?
No, Mom.
You look tired. Did you get any sleep?
I got enough. I stayed at a friend's house. Can I talk to you after dinner, Mom?
Where am I going? To a nightclub?
I'll wash up and be right down.
Stanley? You didn't join anything, did you?
No, Mom.
You got time yet. This family's growing up fast enough.
Yes, Mom.
It's all right. Everything's all right.
Who said it wasn't? Didn't I tell you he'd be home? Nora, Lori, come set the table.
I just broke the world record around your green glass. Next year I'm entering the Grocery Olympics.
Is that my sweet cream?
A perfect run, never supposed to drop. Here's your mail, Paul. Where's Stanley at?
He's upstairs getting ready. Oh my God, I have jury duty next week. Oy vey.
Are you back in the family?
Yeah, everything's great.
It's terrific. Do you want to take a walk on the boardwalk with me tonight? You know, see what's doing?
I can't tonight, I'm busy.
Doing what?
Playing poker.
Poker? Are you serious?
Yeah, right after dinner.
I don't believe you.
I swear to God, I've got a poker game tonight.
You're crazy. You're genuinely crazy. If you lose, I'm not sticking up for you this time.
If you don't tell anybody, I'll give you a present.
What kind of present?
Are you going to tell?
No. No, what's my present?
Here. It's for you. Don't leave it laying around the room.
What is it?
Open it slowly. Slower than that. Close your eyes. Now open.
Oh my God, she's naked!
Keep your voice down! You want to get caught with a thing like that?
Who is she? Where did you get her from?
She's French. That's how all the women are in Paris.
You mean some girl actually posed and let some guy take her picture?
Lori, Nora, time for dinner.
It belongs to the guy who owes me $2.50. I can keep it until he pays me back.
Don't take the money. Let him keep it for a while.
That's my appreciation for being a good buddy.
Anytime you need a favor, just let me know.
All right, put it in the safe spot. It's dinner.
In a minute, I'll be down in a minute.
Kate!
Oh, Ron, you're always running.
A letter from London. My cousin Sholem got out of Poland. They're free, Kate.
Thank God.
His wife, his mother, all 4 children. They're sailing for New York tomorrow. They'll be here in a week.
The week?
Do they speak English?
I don't think so. A few words, maybe. They had to sell everything, Kate. Took everything that they could carry.
Where will they stay?
We'll have to talk to the family. Some with Uncle Leon, some with Uncle Paul.
With us. We'll put some beds in the dining room. It's easy to eat in the kitchen anyways.
Well, the little ones can stay with Lori. Nora, you can sleep with me. Can't you, dear?
Of course, Mama.
Don't worry about money, Pop. I'm gonna hit Mr. Strawham up for that raise.
They got out. What's important is they got out.
Eugene, we're all waiting on you.
In a minute, Ma, I need to write something down. A momentous moment in the life of I,